What's up, y'all? It's your boy Richie Skye. We are back with another video. Y'all know what's up, Sky Squad. We are in the building. Yes, in the chatterization, let me know if you guys can see and hear me clearly. Give me a yes if you guys can see and hear me clearly as well. I'm about to let the texting group know that we are going live right now. Jumping on there to let them know. Let me know also where you guys are watching from. Listen, we got a lot to talk about today, but before we get into it, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button down below. Also, be sure to join the texting community so that I can text you as soon as a new video just drops, okay, like I did just now. With that being said, let's go ahead and stage dive into what we got to talk about today. Now, I know y'all saw this episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac, and if you didn't, okay, you missed a doozy. But it's a lot of stuff going on in the news that we're actually going to get into before we actually start talking about the episode, okay? So the first thing that we got to talk about is the fact that there is actually a brand new episode appearing tonight, okay? That is tonight. It's a reminder for the first ever Real Housewives of Potomac watch party, and it's happening tonight at 10 p.m. only on Twitter, okay? So you guys, hashtag Real Housewives of Potomac watch party tonight. Go to the Bravo TV Instagram and Twitter page in order to get this information, okay? So you guys can watch next week's episode tonight. You'll get the sneak preview of that episode, so we don't have to wait a whole week to get that. Come on now. This is like 2 episodes back to back. Couldn't ask for more than that. So first things first, let's get into this whole situation with Monique and Candiace. Now, I'm wondering what is going on here. So is it a money grab situation? What actually is happening? So we're going to break it down to you. Our friends over at All About the Tea are reporting that your girl Candiace wanted some good coins from that good Monique Samuels, okay? So we're going to get into that. Let's watch this video. Let's hear exactly what Monique had to say about this whole situation.
You know, she filed a complaint against me. At one point, you know, she was seeking monetary repair for
damages. Yeah. And those charges were dismissed. Yeah.
Right. They ain't getting none of my monies.
Okay, so based on what Monique is saying here, it sounds like there was some money that Candiace might have been trying to get from her in response to the altercation that occurred betwixt the two of them, okay? So what we have here is Monique in an interview with Essence Magazine saying that, hey, listen, I wasn't trying to get anything from her. She says, I had no intention of pursuing any charges against Candiace. I had no intention of trying to see her in jail or even trying to get any money up out of her. I just wanted to move forward. She had other intentions, and it dragged out to the point where every outlet is covering it without all the information. So afterwards, Candiace contacted the Essence, and Essence ended up having to post this, okay? She says, as I sit here focusing on my career and the preparation of the premiere of The Real Housewives of Potomac, I am extremely disheartened by the inaccuracies stated in the recent interview by Mrs. Samuels on Essence. I absolutely love the Essence platform and everything that it represents, and look forward to speaking with Essence soon with regards to what actually happened. My fans and my brand are everything to me. So then, to back up her claims, Monique basically posted the letter from Candiace's attorney, okay, threatening civil, which would equal monetary action, okay? So this was found on Monique's Instagram story. She actually basically posted the exact letter. It says, our law firm represents Mrs. Candiace Dillard Bassett. We have been retained in connection with the incident that occurred last week during filming. It is imperative that you and or a representative give our office a call immediately. If we do not hear from you, we will proceed with civil action in court as well as file a complaint. It says, I can be reached at this number below. We reserve all rights of our client. And then she puts right here, 1, civil action equals $signs. Okay. 2, file a complaint. So Monique is posting the receipts indicating what actually went down. You guys can see that right here on that good screenerization. Okay. So we have that bit of information. Now, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation down in the comment section below. I'm not necessarily as familiar with the idea of civil suits and that sort of thing. So I'm not really, I'm not the law, you know what I'm saying? But this is basically what we have here in front of us. And so do you guys think that Candiace was trying to get millions from this, or was this just a veiled threat? You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this whole situation. Now, we have another thing that we got to talk about, okay? Because as you guys may have seen from the title of this video, we actually have some unreleased, well, it's been released all over the place right now, footage of the actual altercation. And so someone has captured some cell phone footage from the incident, okay? And then in this video, you're going to be able to see Monique getting busy, doing a mollywopperization. I can't see on who, okay? So we're just going to say it was just some mollywops to the dome, but we don't know who it was. We can assume that it was Candiace, okay? Here we go. So as you see in the slow-mo here, the pause is up and the group is trying to break it away, okay? Just thank you to whoever got this footage, because who knows what we'll actually see when the incident does occur. But there it is for you guys to see. If you look anywhere on social media, you guys can find this footage. It is all over the place right now. It's circulating the blocks. I guess what I want to know from you guys is, do you think that we'll actually see the entire situation go down on the show? Or do you guys think that we will see some edited version of this altercation? Let me know in the comment section, okay? Now, we're also going to talk about the episode, so don't go nowhere for that. We still got a couple of more news pieces for you guys because Monique and that good Gizelle are also dragging each other as well, okay? So let me pull this up. Last night, Gizelle was on Watch What Happens Live, right? So she was on there and she talked about, Monique's song being an embarrassment. She also talked about, just how Monique was, just basically coming across like Monique wasn't a good person, right? So Monique, after seeing the episode, was not really here for Gizelle talking a lot of smack about her and ended up coming out swinging on the good Twitter. She says about Gizelle, if she's going to keep referring to my grown man as a big boy, then I'll refer to her boyfriend as Pastor Holy Ho. Okay. Monique is not playing this season, y'all. I feel like she is fed up with trying to be the nice girl to these ladies. Okay. I feel like they've been picking on Monique since season 2 when she first got on the scene for whatever reason. But we're going to have to see how it all unfolds, because in the preview for tonight's episode, we're actually going to see Monique and Gizelle sit down for a one-on-one together in which they're going to try to work through their issues. So we're going to have to see how that whole situation plays out in the press. All right. So now I want to do a stage dive into the actual episode, right? So let's talk about it. Let's really get into it. I want to see you guys' comments when we're talking about this. I want to know what you guys think about it. I want to know, were you here for the episode in general? What did you think about it? Did you like it? Was it was it a good first episode? We're going to hit all of the highlights. I got my little list right here for us to kind of go through everything and really talk about it in depth. Okay. Now, let me tell y'all something. When I put together these reviews and recaps, it is a lot of work. I be trying to get all the tea for y'all, all the information, compile it all into one video and really just give it all to you. You know what I'm saying? So I want to go ahead and just stage dive on into the episode. Now, you guys may notice here that I have a portion right here where it says Sharice chimes in on the Twitter. I'm actually going to save that for a bit later in the recap because it's going to be important when we bring up Sharice actually within the episode. Okay, so let's stay tuned for that. Now, the first thing that I do want to talk about is the looks. Okay, the ladies are back and they are serving looks, and I'm going to give you guys 3 of my favorites. Though we didn't see Wendy's look in this first episode, I'm assuming we'll see it tonight. These are probably 3 of my favorite looks, right? They're 3 of my favorites. Let me know in the comment section below who had your favorite look of the night. Let me know in the comment right now. Just give me your favorite look of the night. That's what I want to know first, because I felt like the ladies were serving. I love the multiple looks that we got from Karen, that we got from Monique. I actually love Candiace's look that was in the short bob. I didn't necessarily care for the big, large braid, but these are 3 of the looks that I'm really kind of loving. The person in the middle, Moni, is Wendy Acefo, Dr. Wendy Acefo. She is going to be the new cast member on this season of the Real Housewives of Potomac. So those are 3 of my favorite looks so far. So let's keep this train going. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep this train going. I want to get into them setting the scene, okay? Them setting the scene. Now, to me, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, the producers did an amazing job setting the scene right off the top, okay? Right off the top, we get the broken glass on the floor from the fight that's coming up. We get all of that right off at the beginning of the episode. Now, based on what we have been seeing with a lot of these other Bravo shows, I kind of knew that that's the route that they were going to take. We were going to get snapshots and they were going to do a lot of foreshadowing, which they did. Then we get a nice aerial shot of Potomac leading straight into Karen's new home. That new home looks amazing. I got to tell y'all the truth. That home looks amazing. It don't look lived in yet, but it does look amazing. And to her credit, she did kind of indicate that she was still kind of trying to set it up. But you know, I always hate when I see a show and I be feeling like, no, there's nobody live in this house because it ain't no photos. It ain't no, homes have knickknacks. Homes have a lived in quality to it. And it ain't felt lived in yet, but to her credit, at this point in time, it seems as though she has just moved in and is just getting settled, okay? But we'll get back to Karen's home in a second because she ain't never home, and we'll talk about that too. Anyway, we get right into this meeting at Karen's house that the ladies are going to have after the altercation occurs. So I'm sure we'll get more of those time jumps as we go along the season. But for right now, it jumps back 7 weeks, okay? Now, back 7 weeks ago, we are introduced to T'Challa, which is Monique's bird. Let me tell y'all something. This is Monique's situation with her home life is quintessential Housewives. It is busy. It's a lot going on. She got a whole animal farm at the house. There's birds, there's fish. She got 3 kids and a partridge and a pear tree. There is so much going on in this house. To me, that is what makes her an exciting housewife to watch, okay? And she lives in the Potomac area, okay? I believe her and Karen are the only 2 people that actually live in the Potomac area. And if you have not been to Potomac, okay, let me tell you something. It is filled with compounds and mansions and nice homes and such. It's a really nice area, I got to tell you. So what you see with Karen's house is typical. What you see with Monique's house is definitely typical of what you would see in that area, okay? Now, back to the bird. I kind of wanted one, but then I was thinking to myself, I couldn't even take care of the extra Yorkie that we had. I had to send that Yorkie to my to grandma's house to stay with my mama and my daddy, okay? It was just too much. And to me, I'd be wondering to myself, now, how do you manage with these 3 kids? One is a newborn that you started potty training at 4 months old, and this bird, okay? This bird on this leash, okay? Strange as it may be, I was here for it. I don't know why. I was just here for it, and I slightly wanted to parrot my doggone self, okay? Let's talk about Karen and her new home, okay? Karen got a new home, y'all, as we spoke about, but she ain't never home. Now, that's a problem for Ray. Ray is not here for that. Ray needs for her to be at home. Ray is what, about 70 at this point? So he want his woman home, and she off gallivanting the land, selling perfume on the HSN, okay? Now, amen, get your money. But how much work are you doing on this perfume that you can't do none of it from home? Like, girl, you got to have some home time for your man. You know what I'm saying? Chances are he might be on the way to retiring if he ain't retired already, and he gonna want to spend some quality time with his lady. Now, you got to do something. Something got to give. It's got to be a little balance there. You know what I mean? I don't think that perfume is taking up that much of your time unless you got other endeavors that you got going on. Next time I run into Karen, I'm gonna ask her that question because I'm like, girl, why you not at home? Anyway, speaking of new homes, Gizelle got one too. It was something about the decor that just, it bothered me a little bit. Can I ask y'all a question? What were you guys here for the decor in Gizelle's home? Let me know in the good chatterization what y'all thought about it. Let me know in the good chatterization what you thought about the decor in Gizelle's home. Now, I was here for the emptiness of Karen's home versus the busyness of Gizelle's, okay? But that's a matter of personal taste, and I'm not going to hold that against the woman. You know what I'm saying? But I think what happens is because Gizelle is so beautiful, and let's face it, we got a whole cast full of beautiful women, right? But I think because Gizelle is put out front of this show so much, you know, she's always the first person to do press on Watch What Happens Live, and you always know that's usually the biggest star on or the most favorite person on the show is whomever goes first. So always look at who they send out first to Watch What Happens Live to promote when the season starts, and that's usually the most favored housewife in the bunch, okay? Unless she just got it stated in her contract that that's what she has, that's what she does. But who knows? But because they put her out front so much, I just be kind of thinking to myself, like, sometimes I need her to show up a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need that house to be immaculation. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need for your reunion looks to be immaculation. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I feel like she be missing the mark. You know what I'm saying? The beauty is there, but the other things that's going on around just be off a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm not coming, this is not shade. This is just my opinion, okay? It's just my opinion, okay? Now, anyway, did y'all notice that everybody's moving? Everybody want a new home. Karen got a new home. Gizelle rebuilding her home. Candiace want a new home. Robyn needs to move into a new home. It's just a lot of new home going in this episode, okay? Now, anyway, let's get back to Gizelle and Pastor Bryant, okay? Pastor Jamal Bryant. Now, y'all know Gizelle was in that relationship with him years ago. He had been cheated on her with some other women's. And it had been rumored that there was other children and other things like that going on, yada, yada, yada. But now she is back together with this man and she don't care what nobody got to say about it, not even her kids, because her kids are not here for it. Now, let me tell you something. I'm going to give her a compliment because I feel like this is definitely the case. She has raised some really smart and bright young ladies, okay? Thank you for I see a super chat over here. Thank you so much for that super chat. She has risen some bright, articulate young girls. They are so articulate that they can actually see through the BS that they are calling on their daddy, okay? Because my thing is this. Obviously, they love their dad, okay? And obviously, you know, he is providing for them. And I think that's a great thing. But the fact of the matter that they said this, they were like, he only calls us and then he calls you right after just to tell you that he called us. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you guys for the super chat. I really appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all for that. And I'm like, wait, was he not calling them on a regular before? Because they making it seem like this is a brand new situation. You know what I'm saying? Or was it just that now he's reporting to her afterwards? Something is off in this situation for the kids to be this adamant and all on the same page about this situation with her and Jamal. Now, okay, now I understand that the streets have been talking about it being some fakerization, but for the sake of what we're looking at on the show, my assumption is going to remain at this moment that it is all real, okay? But something in the milk is not clean because these girls, bright as they be, don't like it, okay? And they're not here for it, all right? So I want to move on to Candiace and the Cash Bar at La Vie, okay? Now, I used to live in DC, and obviously La Vie is new, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. It must be in the ness of me being there, right? So I lived there up until about 2015? So this must have come in somewhere after that. Anyway, it looks like a nice little spot. But I have a question, and I want y'all in the chatterization to let me know what you guys think about this. And maybe I'll ask Candiace one day. Hopefully she don't be too angry about my reviews of the show and don't take it personally, because ain't none of this personal. You know, I love all these ladies. But at the end of the day, when she came in the room and she said that her budget was 5, did she mean 5 figures or did she mean 5,000? In the chatterization, y'all let me know what y'all thought. Did y'all think she meant 5 figures or did she mean 5,000? Okay, because here's what I know and what I know for sure. Okay, typically when you are looking for a venue for something and you asking even at a minimum, okay, typically at a minimum. And I was talking with this about the I was talking about this earlier. If you are trying to get a bar, okay, and drink service for an event, I would say a lot of times, based on my own experience, it's betwixt 2 and 4 to 5 for the bar, right? Okay, because typically when you're getting an unlimited bar service for an event, depending on the size, it's typically 2 to 4 or 5,000. That was just what I was thinking, right? So I didn't understand why she was coming in with the idea, especially because she has had a wedding, right? So you really get a lot of estimates with regards to what's going on with the wedding. But I was just like, why is she surprised that it's way over $5,000 for this space for this event? Now, unless she had worked it out where, you know, well, clearly it's a cash bar, so that was the thing that was paying for it. So it was just interesting to me. I was just trying to figure out, why wouldn't you know this information? But 22,000 did seem like a lot of money, but I don't know. I don't think she paid that. I don't think she ended up paying 22,000 for that. I just can't see it. I just can't see it, because otherwise I would have been like, girl, you need to have something at your house, okay? Just have something at your house. Have your husband make some food, okay? And y'all get some little box wine from the grocery store, okay? Call it a day. Moving right along. The only thing I got to say about Ashley is no to this bouffant on her head, okay? It was a no for me in this confessional look. I couldn't even focus on what was happening in the scene with her and Michael because I was so distraught by this wiggerization on her head that looked like it was about to topple over every time she moved. Now I'm here for Ashley and her natural hair. I think I love it when it's big and it's just bouncing all over the place and to and fro and all that good stuff. But I was fearful because every time she was talking, that thing was moving on top of her head. And I was like, girl, what's happening right now? What's going on? Who did this to you? Because conversely, it looked like they had done some serious planning for her second confessional look, which was the bone straight and the pink look. So to me, I was here for that one, not because it was just straight, but because it just looked like, oh, that's a look right there. But that bouffant was killing me because I was like, oh, it's going to fall down. Anyway, let's move on to Robyn and Juan, okay? Now, they need a new home. They growing out of this place up in the Baltimore area, right? They growing out of that. For those of you who don't know, Baltimore is not really near Potomac in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it's honestly and then maybe they're not like in Baltimore. I think they might be like surrounding the Baltimore area. I don't know. But what I do know is that that's why she be late all the time. That's what I feel like, because she got to travel so far. I mean, it's far. It is far. So yes, girl, get a new house and get it closer inland so you can be with your girls and your friends and all that stuff like that and carry on and kiki and kaka and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But what she smartly says is, I'm not moving nowhere with you until we get married. Okay, it's time for some deadlines here. And fortunately for her, he acquiesces and says this. And I thought I had to write this down. He says, oh yes, thank you. About 45 minutes from Baltimore. Exactly. Everybody on the same page. Tiandra, 45 minutes from Baltimore. Okay, there we go. We on the right path. He smartly says this. I'm a man who's made many mistakes, but I'm fortunate enough to have a strong woman in my corner. Let me tell you, I was like, after 5 seasons, thank you, Jesus. He is finally on board, okay? He is finally on board. I was so happy. Honestly, I almost stopped watching the episode right there to go pop open some bubbly for myself, okay? Because I was like, let's celebrate, girl. Robyn, call me up. Let's celebrate, girl. Oh, let me drink this. So we're going to move on to Candiace and Gizelle at the dessert tasting, okay? Now, they're going to taste some desserts for Candiace's event. Now, is La Vie a restaurant and a bar? Because why couldn't they just provide the knickknacks and the paddywhacks and the food for the thing too? I guess that would have been too much expensive. And if you're already getting this cash bar, you cutting down on every single expense that you can have. Why not have Kris and his food company cater or something like that, or have it at the place where Kris works? I don't understand like that. That would have been some amazing promotion for the place where he works or owns or is the chef, or I don't know what he do there. But it seems like that would have been good promotion, for the business, right? But anyway, I digress. They meeting for desserts because Candiace wants to use this place to bring in some caterization for the Diamonds and Denim anniversary party that she's about to have with Kris, right? So Gizelle rolls up in a Gucci Mini Cooper. I didn't even know Gucci made Mini Coopers, okay? Because her car broke down. Now I was like, I wouldn't have said that on TV, especially if I'm Gizelle. Not the baddest thing walking and the most anointed one talking, okay? It sounds like the baddest one might have been walking to the cupcake place had it not been for that good Pastor Jamal Bryant having his extra car at her house, okay? So he got an extra little mini car because, she liked the little Mini Cooper type situations because I think that's what she drives anyway. But if they breaking down like that, then maybe you should start investing in some type of other car. Like that one that Monique was driving. Monique was driving a Bentley. She drove that Bentley 3 minutes to go to Karen's house. I was like, yes, girl, come on. This is what I'm talking about. This is why we watching that show. But anyway, she pulled up in the Gucci. And so Gizelle wants Candiace to invite Ashley. And Ashley and Candiace is not really here for that, okay? She is not here for it. Okay. Now, I don't fault her for that because they left off on bad terms. But in order for the show to progress, they are going to need to come together at some point, okay? They're going to need to come together at some point. But then the next thing that we have is Candiace and Gizelle are going at it about each other's homes, right? So Candiace is making fun of the fact that Gizelle is redoing her $900,000 rebuild. And then Gizelle was talking about some things, laughing about some things that Miss Dorothy had told her when she ran into her, okay? So they get into it about that, which I was really not expecting, and it seems like the whole argument just sporadically ends. Thank you, Tiandra, for that super chat. I was like, what is this argument for? But okay, I'm here for it. We get a little bit of drama in this, and I got to pull up something because where I'm going next is insane. I got to pull it up. Hold on. I got to send it to myself, y'all. Y'all not going. Don't play with me on this one because editing is funny. Because we get Monique and Ashley in the next scene together, right? And they are bonding over the fact that they are, natural and holistic moms. Okay, now I'm here for that. Monique done trained this baby at the early age of 4 months to go pee potty and all that good stuff by himself. And I'm like, well, what in the world? How did you do that? So anyway, there's that. Let me listen. When I tell y'all, I about fell out when they did this. I got to pull it up. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Give me 2 seconds to pull this up. I don't even know why I hadn't sent it to myself earlier. So in this situation, Ashley is commenting about why, about how it was kind of an in-your-face moment now that she was having a baby, okay? And Candiace was wrong about everything that she said about her, right? So in this point, she's basically kind of just going in on that good Candiace. And let me tell you something. When she called Candiace a hamster face hoe, I was like, oh, no, she didn't. But what was even shadier was the Bravo editors when they did this. I said, no, y'all didn't. Y'all did not do this to y'all did not do this to girl. Y'all did not do this to homegirl. Why would they do this? Why they do this to her? That I was like, oh no, Bravo editors. How do y'all just literally, they threw her up under the bus, rolled the bus back and forth over it, took off running, and then drove it right back over her again. I was like, if I was her, I'm gonna tell y'all, I would have been heated by that situation. They would have gotten so many letters from my lawyer. I would have been like, oh no, this is not, no. What y'all not gonna do is this, okay? Because honestly, it was shady. It was shady. And I was even offended for her. I mean, now it made for good TV, but it was at her expense. The production, messy. And I ain't never seen nothing like it. Okay. My only issue with this scene is the fact that there was something missing from this scene. We get a flashback of Monique and Candiace, okay, making up. Now, we needed to see that full scene. And the reason why is because a lot of the buildup around this show and this season is the breakdown of Candiace and Monique. And in order for us to really get the full tea and the full story, we need to see every interaction that they have. Why? Because as eagle-eyed viewers, that's what we're going to be doing throughout the season to see what really happened, right? So I found it odd that we get that in flashback. They did this a lot with the Real Housewives of Atlanta this past season. They gave us a lot of flashbacks for things that we should have actually seen on the show. And I was really disappointed by that because I felt like it left us a lot of gaps within the story. You know what I'm saying? In order for us to get the full story, we need to see every little thing that they go through because these are the two leading ladies of the season. Obviously, Karen and Gizelle are really the leads, but in terms of the story that's leading the season, it's going to be Candiace and Monique and the journey that they're on together and apart after it happens, right? So I felt like we needed to see that. That's just me. I was kind of annoyed by that. So then we get to Candiace's Diamonds and Denim Party. And we actually get some entrances from some of the DMV socialites. Now, a lot of these socialites are featured on the Black Socialites Instagram page. So this is a really neat opportunity. And if for those of you who may be interested in some of the people that you actually saw on the screen, go follow the Black Socialites. I'll put a link in the description down below. I'm actually going to pull up their page now. But they really do spotlight a lot of the DMV socialites that you guys see in the background. I saw my boy DJ Trife in there. He's a good, bomb DJ. And as a DJ, for me to say that myself, I'm like, yo, he's phenomenal. So just a little bit of background on some things that you actually saw within that scene. At this point, we meet new housewife Wendy Asefo. Now, she hits it off immediately with Monique. Like they click right off the rip because they both got the kids. Wendy is Nigerian. Monique is 35% Nigerian. I mean, they just hit it off like, already old friends or something like that. But Karen, not so much. Karen lets us know that she's not really that impressed by Dr. Wendy Asefo. Upon first glance, I want to know what you guys' impression of of Dr. Wendy Osefo was. Let me know in the comments, did you like Wendy? I personally was into her. Like, she came off to me with a really like bubbly personality. She seemed willing to kind of get in there with the group. And I don't know if it's because, you know, she kind of knew some of the people already, but she seemed to really mesh well with the group so far, with the exception of Ashley, because Ashley was not there, okay? Now, Candiace wants to have a little powwow situation with that good Gizelle, okay? She wants to have a powwow with her, and they are off and at it again outside, okay? You know, Gizelle is basically, what I love about Gizelle is that I love that Gizelle always seems to keep her composure. And I think that it comes from, I mean, it could just be her upbringing. It could be the fact that she used to be a first lady. So I feel like a lot of that poise that she is able to maintain under pressure is probably from that period in her life. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, she typically does well when confronted, right? So, you know, for me, that conversation again went nowhere because I felt like what we got from that was really no resolve between her and Candiace, because Wendy and Monique arrived on the scene, and we had a kind of nice little moment with Monique basically, you know, kind of giving Gizelle some compliments, right? So we leave from that, and then Robyn arrives late from Baltimore, and we discover that Charisse has arrived on the scene. Now, in this moment, Robyn asked the most poignant question. Why is Charisse here? And she's like, was she even at Candiace's wedding? Okay. Now, I'm wondering the same thing. We also learn in this portion that Monique is not cool with Charisse anymore because they used to be cool, but now Charisse is spreading some information or some lies about her family, okay? And Monique is not here for it, and she is not even giving this lady any energy, right? But actually, we got some word from Charisse per our friends at the Black Socialites. So let's look at this, okay? So Charisse chimed in and basically said this. She says, on Twitter, she says, disappointed at what Black women feel we need to do to stay relevant. Hashtag Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, I'm not sure why it had to be the Black women because, you know, on a lot of these shows, it ain't Black women doing the things. It's the characters on the show, and they're not always all Black. But I didn't see what really she could have been referring to. So then the Black Socialites responds because they used to have a working relationship. The nerve of her, she really needs to stop projecting her sad character traits and flaws onto other Black women. How unfortunate. So then Robyn chimes in because, you know, Robyn was the one who said, was she even at Candiace's wedding? So why was Charisse there? Okay. Now, for me, we're going to ask the question, was Charisse slated to be a cast member this season? Was she slated to be a friend of the show this season? You know, what was the nature of Charisse's involvement in the scene? Because if she was supposed to be there because she was supposed to be a cast member or a friend, then it makes sense. If it was for some other reason, i.e. to irk Monique, then we're looking at a completely different type of situation, which could be a setup. So we got to ask the question. So Robyn says, I need to correct myself. Charisse was actually invited to Candiace's wedding and was unable to attend. My bad, ladies. And then Charisse says, but didn't you bring me up? It's giving ... lies. And then she says, it's the real diamond ring for me, Real Housewives of Potomac. Now, I don't know if she was shading Robyn Dixon's ring, which I guess is some other, what do you call it? Stone and not diamond. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but it just doesn't seem cool. But the Black Socialites lets us know. They say Robyn Dixon is a liar. This is what they are saying. Charisse did not attend the Bassett's wedding because Bravo refused to pay her to be a friend of the show for season 4 as they did for season 3. She threw a tantrum and thought that her absence would have been missed and that they would come back begging her to be on the show, and they did not. Why lie? Keep it real. And how do I know? You may ask, because Charisse told me herself. So there's some interesting things going on with Charisse's involvement with the cast, as well as what's happening with her and Monique. So I'm not quite sure what is the deal with Charisse and her participation in the show, but it seems like her participation is going to lead to the downfall again of Candiace and Monique. Okay, so I'm trying to just put the pieces together. Again, listen, I don't have no dislike for any of these ladies. Just giving you the information that's out there, and I'm trying to put the pieces together because I feel like we don't have the complete story yet. Now, I knew that this whole that today's video was going to be a long one. Okay, it took me a couple of hours to pull together all of this information, and I hope I put it together in a way that is cohesive enough for you guys to follow along and understand some of the backstory that I'm pulling together for you guys, as well as information for you guys to collect yourselves. I like for you guys to be able to go to all of these sites, read the information for yourselves. And that's one of the reasons why I tell you guys where I find information, because I'm not always on the video, right? And so if you're like me, you want the information whenever you want it too. So I give you guys the sources as well, so that you guys will just have them and you guys can check them at your leisure and enjoyment as well, right? So that's why I always tell you, or I shout out the sites where I get something from, because I feel like, you know, why not? Why not do that? And why not spread the love, you know? Anyway, now that's it. That's all that we have for today's video. We're going to have another review tomorrow on the Real Housewives of Potomac, because we will have a new episode tonight at 10 p.m. I think you guys have to follow Bravo TV on Twitter or on Instagram. You can check there, or use the hashtag Real Housewives of Potomac Watch Party on Twitter, and you guys can find it that way. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. I need to go and watch Love and Marriage Huntsville so that we can have a little chatterization about that as well. Rachel asked, how was the footage leaked? Someone, I guess, leaked some cell phone footage from from that night. So I guess somebody had TV, somebody was recording it with their phone when it happened. So I guess that's how they got it. Somebody asked for the community number. You guys can join the texting community at 1-202-918-3386. It's really just a way for me to contact you guys to let you know that I'm putting out a new video. So you guys will know as soon as it drops, because sometimes when people subscribe to the channel, they don't always get the notification. And this is just a good way for you guys to get a notification to your phone. So also make sure you guys follow me on Facebook. You guys can, you know, some people are really big Facebook people, and this is just a good way for you guys to tune in there as well. With that being said, I'm about to head out, eat lunch, and tune in to Love and Marriage Huntsville so that I can come back with more for you guys, and we can chat it up a little bit more about another one of our favorite shows. And I will see you in the next video.